You guys have never watched Kill Tony?
I saw him at the Brady thing.
But you never watched the show, Kill Tony?
No, but I know what he does.
He just happened to have an episode on Monday where Shane Gillis impersonated Trump and Adam Ray impersonated Biden on the show. And it just went like crazy viral. They got really lucky because they filmed this the day after the debate. Shane Gillis, who does a notoriously really good Trump impression, dressed up as Donald Trump, and Adam Ray, another comedian, dressed up as Joe Biden. And they acted like Donald Trump and Joe Biden were the celebrity judges. Essentially, for the whole episode, they acted like Trump and Biden. And comedians came out and they judged them and they made fun of each other. It was just so perfectly timed. And I see it going viral on Twitter, especially because of the moment.
I think the amount of content that's come out in the last 48 hours has been unbelievable blockbuster stuff.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, Kathys. You know, we always have incredible Kathys that listen to this podcast that are doing really cool businesses. And one of them is called EcoDrive. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, D.
We met because of, I think originally Steve from Alice Gray had told me about what you guys were doing, and then we had met individually separate from him. And you guys, when we first met, were doing a business where at checkout, you allowed the consumer to donate a portion of the purchase.
Yeah, the brand could either choose if they want their customer to opt in to planting trees or if they wanted to do it on behalf of their customer.
Yeah.
That was how we initially launched EcoDrive.
I remember the first question I asked is like, are you guys really planting trees?
Yeah.
Is there a picture? Is there a video? How did you end up proving that out at scale? Like because I feel like a lot of people want to do it, but they're just like, are you just keeping this money or are we actually getting a tree?
Yeah, I mean, that's why EcoDrive exists and why there's an opportunity for us is we actually verify all the trees and impact in general on the ground. So we receive timestamps and geo coordinates of every unit of impact, AKA tree that's planted. And that's done through the nonprofits that are actually doing the planting. And then they all have apps on their phone that record walking patterns, walking past, stopping patterns, and photo evidence that detects each tree planted.
That's amazing. And so that was like the original foundation of the business. And we're just catching up. And you guys said the hospitality side of the business is growing. This is fascinating. So how are hospitality companies, particularly hotels, using you guys?
Yeah. So the way that we like to integrate is like have some type of ROI or cost savings. So hotels have been struggling with labor shortages since COVID. And so I'm sure everyone's now been to hotels and they say, do you want to opt out of housekeeping? They're doing that because they are understaffed and there's a cost associated with turning over each room of $20 to $30 per room.
That's insane.
It's wild.
So are they saying it takes more than 1 hour to clean a room? Or
no, but with labor, with supplies, with everything, like it's a 20, 30 minute turnaround, but it's just scheduling. It's a burden.
Yeah.
And so they might live like at a 5-10%, call it unincentivized opt-out rate. Like some people just do that. But when you say, hey, instead of would you like to opt out and we'll plant a tree, or now we do ocean plastic cleanups, like we'll pull a pound of plastic from the ocean. We take that number to 20, 30, 40%, saves them tens of thousands to like a wild amount on a monthly basis. So annualized, like they have a huge savings from it.
Wow. And then the consumer at the hotel knows that there is a environmental benefit by opting out.
Exactly. So that's where verification is important. So hotels, we give them all the tools to where they can literally follow up with people and say, hey, 2-3 months down the road, remember when we said we pulled a pound of plastic from the ocean, planted a tree for you? Here it is. Like it happened. So the follow through is the important part. And then they get more people rebooking, they get people leaving reviews, all that good stuff. So it's sort of the soft re-engagement. Yeah.
And that's honestly where our direct to consumer brands also benefit. Because all of the units of impact are verified, we send through those emails. So D2C brands are driving repeat purchases 30 days later, 3 months later, 6 months later, re-engaging that customer that shopped with them and then driving them back to repeat purchase all around their tree was planted. Hey, buy again and we'll plant another, or we'll remove plastic from the ocean.
Are you seeing consumers engaging in this because they care about the environment, because it makes them feel good? What do you think the reason why people do it is?
Yeah, that's really interesting because you could go back to Shein, right?
Yeah.
Which you guys always do. So what we always say is this isn't going to sell your product for you. You still have to have a good product.
Yeah.
This is going to be an incentive and a conversion tool that you can use, right? You have to get your customer to cart with your product in it before they see that, hey, we're pulling a pound of plastic for your order. That then incentivizes them to only proceed through checkout and not bounce, right? And that's kind of the same with the emails. It's just a way to re-engage and convert them.
Yeah.
But it's not going, you have to have a good product and a good brand and all of that. It's not, planting trees is not going to be your savior.
Yeah.
The way we refer to it is most people are environmental-ish. Like they're not dramatically changing their spending habits, but if they have the option and there's something being good, like impact happening for them, it incentivizes them to make that purchase. So from a data perspective, like it moves the needle in that sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I know you guys started working with Steve at Alice Gray, who's building this incredible, I would say like the most environmentally friendly piece of footwear in the world. And you guys are doing a contest with him, right?
Yeah, giveaway. Yeah, really. So we worked with Steve for years now. We met him through the pod. I think he was on and then we DM'd him and hopped on, and he's obviously so bought in on the mission and doing something groundbreaking.
Yeah.
So every pair of Alice Gray for years has planted a tree. And so what we're doing is the Frontline Pro.
Yeah.
We're going to give away 20 pairs. So we have an email we can probably put in show notes, I'm assuming, to where if
or
you're
just say that here,
like B2B sales at Alice Gray. So if you work in the frontline industry, medical, food service, send an email to that with like a little blurb about like what you do. And Alice Gray is going to select 20 people and send them a free pair of shoes.
Amazing. So it's B2B sales at alicegray.com. And these are for hospital workers, doctors, nurses, hospitality, baristas, everyone who's on their feet all day.
On their feet for like a long period.
These shoes are incredible. They're extremely comfortable. I wear them literally every weekend from the moment I get home till I go back to work. It's an incredible shoe and obviously incredible that you guys are partnering together on it. And the environmental benefit, I don't think people realize footwear and the damage, particularly shoes, have done to the environment.
Yeah.
It's just, Steve went to Puerto Rico years ago and he sent me a picture of a oceanside, just shoes everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is, you think about how disgusting it is. People don't even allow people to wear shoes in their house. Now you're talking about it just everywhere on the side of the ocean. There's just all these shoes. It's crazy.
Yeah. So for that too, we're going to plant the tree in Oregon, which is like wildfire restoration. And then we now have an ocean plastic cleanup project with 4Ocean. So we're going to pull a pound for that too. Wow. So everyone who on that follow-up, everyone who gets a pair will get updates about that. A lot of the stuff that gets pulled from the ocean is shoes.
All right, Kathy's.
A ton amount.
Take advantage, get a free pair of shoes and be environmentally friendly. If we have Kathy's who own hotels, brands, how do they get a hold of EcoDrive?
Yeah. So website is ecodrive.community. That's probably the best place. We set up a promo code because we have so it's the only cost is really the impact. So like a tree can range anywhere from 45 cents for a Kenya mangrove to a couple bucks for a tree in the US or Canada. Pound of plastic's $2 per. So that's the only cost associated. You get this super cool portal dashboard, track the impact. You can integrate with Shopify, Amazon, Eventbrite, like thousands of platforms.
Wow, cool.
So it's like simple, easy, integrated impact is sort of the play there for anyone who's interested.
What's the code?
Group chat.
So ecodrive.community, use the code group chat and you can experience having this like incredible option for your customers at checkout. And if you're a hotel owner, which I'm sure there's got to be Kathy's that own hotels out here. I mean, that honestly, that sounds like a game-changing experience.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, because you think just the cost. It's funny because I was at a hotel the other day in New York and, the check-in time is usually 3 p.m., whatever, 4 p.m. And I normally don't even check into the hotel till like late night, but I had like an hour break. So I was like, I'm gonna go check into the hotel. Randomly ran into a Kathy actually. I was sitting there waiting for my room. And at 3 p.m. I was like, oh, is the room ready? And the guy's like, No, it's not ready yet. And I was like, oh, okay. I go 3 p.m. He's like, honestly, we have no one to clean these rooms. That's the problem.
Yep.
And so it's just like real, like it literally was told to me. He's like, we have one lady cleaning like 400 rooms right now. So that's the back. I'm like, is the hotel booked? And he's like, no, we're empty. We just don't have any people to clean.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty remarkable thing.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yep.
Is there anything else you want to leave the Cathys with?
I just wanted to elaborate more on the direct to consumer Cathys.
Yeah.
You could choose to have the customer opt in, or you could choose to do it on behalf of your customers. So there's merchant paying options and customer opt-ins.
Yeah.
The merchant paying is where you can leverage the increase in conversions, the repeat purchases, while, you know, being more sustainable and providing that experience for your brands or for your customers. And then the customer opt-in is completely free for merchants. So it's almost a no-brainer. And then you could see which one of your customers are more eco-friendly or sustainable. And you can start to market to that segment a little differently, right? You can send discount or plant trees instead of discount codes and things like that.
That's incredible. I didn't realize trees are so cheap. I just assumed trees were expensive.
Yeah, it depends. Like we're doing in like when you talk places like Eastern Africa, it's tens of millions a year. So there's just economies of scale and like, but it's super cool. So a lot of times we're asked like the impact at the ground level. Everyone's on salary. The verification is super cool, like getting the pictures and updates of the trees. So the money flows through to the nonprofits and like the impact at the same level. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Like you get a lot of stories of we're about to launch something in Haiti. It's like a women's beekeeping collective that it's socioeconomic development. It's planting trees for pollination. We have agroforestry in Rwanda, which is about like fruit trees for people, less about number of trees, more about type, and then building. So each one has its own cool human element. Yeah. But of course it's for sustainability and like environmental impact as well.
Amazing. Great work, guys. Incredible. A Beekeeper, great movie.
Terrible movie, by the way.
What are you talking about? Jason Statham? Shit's epic. I'm telling everyone it's movie of the year. All right, guys.
I was listening to that episode in the car with my fiance, and we were both like, that movie was terrible. When Dina said it was great.
Wow.
It's just cheesy. It's
like
typical
that.
Jason
That's what I'm looking
Statham.
for. Yeah. I'm looking for minimal talking, action, fighting, shooting.
Well, it did have all that.
And some beats. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys.
Cool. Thanks for having us.
That's so funny.
All right. We're back. Where do you want to start? Let me just say this real quick. You guys have never watched Kill Tony?
I have. I mean, I saw him at the Brady thing.
Right, but you never watched the show Kill Tony.
No, but I know what he does. He kills people.
Because one of the doesn't kill anybody. One of the things that's happening in the news in all this shit is he just happened to have an episode on Monday where Shane Gillis impersonated Trump and Adam Ray impersonated Biden.
Yep.
On the show, and it just went like crazy viral, and everyone's talking about it. And so I just wanted to.
So what'd they do?
So what, on the show, they have a panel, they have, celebrity or comedian judges, and then people come out. And so all they did was they got really lucky because they filmed this the day after the debate, not the shooting. And Shane Gillis, who does a notoriously really good Trump impression, dressed up as Donald Trump, and Adam Ray, another comedian, dressed up as Joe Biden. And they acted like Donald Trump and Joe Biden were the celebrity judges, but they just had really funny, like impromptu, they didn't, essentially for the whole episode, they acted like Trump and Biden, and comedians came out and they judged them and they made fun of each other. It was just so perfectly timed. And I see it going viral on Twitter, especially because of the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I think the amount of content that's come out in the last 48 hours has been unbelievable, blockbuster stuff. And I think the most, and I'm over indexing in my algorithm for one type of content that I want to talk about, which is JD Vance's wife is Indian. Obviously intrigued me. So I started clicking on all, about learning about her life story and who she is and whatever. Very and impressive. That get me into an algorithm where really right-wing people are like, oh, look where America's going. We have kids named Vivek running around the White House now.
Right.
So, and what's interesting is I go to the comment section and
They don't like that she's Indian.
they don't, yeah, it's just like, too brown.
Yeah, too
Right?
far.
And then they're showing wedding pictures. Usha's wearing a sari. He's wearing a kurta, like very traditional Indian wedding they had. Right. And she's like, they're like, you're going to have this in the White House? What the fuck is going on?
I'll show you sorry.
And yeah, exactly. But what's interesting in the comments is the opposite of what I thought was going to be. The comments are, we welcome them to MAGA. We are, she's from San Diego. And it's funny is because the Amber Rose thing also was very interesting. So she spoke at the Republican National Convention, which is funny in itself.
You're on fire. You got to kick Amber Rose off.
Yeah. So what's funny? So like, I'm like dying that she spoke. So I go click on the comments and
They love it.
They love it.
They love it.
They
the
love
whole
it.
RNC is like unity.
The
and
RNC
black
looks
and
like the
white and
Democratic
brown and-
National Convention 10 years ago. Black women speaking.
Yeah.
A Sikh woman ended Monday night with a prayer. Sikh woman. What is we're in
It's
bizarro
over.
world where Republicans are looking like normal people.
Yeah.
But
It's over.
you saw in Wisconsin, Biden's leading.
Okay, you're the only one that actually believes the polls. No one believes the polls.
There's no way, dude. It's going to be fucking 90%.
I actually think there's a non-zero chance that this is over.
What?
Listen, you have
The
to
election.
think that. These are your
Yeah,
people.
you have to.
The election
you
is
have to
over.
give your guys.
Trump
You have to
won.
give your guys a shot, even though Adam Schiff and Pelosi are telling him to get the fuck out of the race.
I'm saying the polls don't show it.
No,
Because the
dude,
polls
but
aren't real.
The polls weren't even close in 2016. The polls aren't real.
No one believes the polls. Polls are fake.
I mean, the polls weren't real in 2020 when Trump won.
Trump didn't win in 2020.
Well, he didn't win 2020.
Or 2016, sorry.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the polls are always wrong. I don't.
Polls said no chance Trump
Even
wins.
if you told me Trump was winning by 50 points, I'd say the polls are wrong. I think polls are just wrong. They don't know anything.
I don't think it's as clear as you guys want to portray.
We. It's not just us. Everyone thinks it. So you're the only one.
But even
you're
the
everyone.
Democrat lawmakers think it.
Yeah, the governors are. They're all. Adam Schiff said the whole ticket is going to ruin the party downstream.
I don't
Barack
think
Obama thinks it.
Yeah.
George Clooney.
George Clooney wrote an op-ed in New York Times saying it's time for a change.
George knows. He's been around a long time.
Nobody is supporting this guy. Hey,
No,
actually,
I think it's about supporting him. I think it's about supporting the values.
Right, but the
So
point is
two different things.
They have lost confidence that he has a chance at winning, is what I'm saying. The people who should be the most confident are not confident.
So here's an interesting stat. 65% of Democrats want President Biden to drop out of the 2024 election. 65%. 70% of U.S. adults say President
So you
Biden
like
should.
those polls, but you don't like the poll that says Biden's leading Trump in Wisconsin.
Yes, I believe this.
You believe two different polls.
The polls are like run by ABC News and 538.
What's the poll you're
this
talking about?
Associated Press.
So that's fine.
And for this information, I'm okay
I
with
mean,
it.
it's a joke. Like you can't believe one poll and not the other poll.
Here's
I don't do
anecdotally.
that. I don't believe any of them. But what I do believe is Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, all of the
Adam Schiff,
top of the top Democrats have lost confidence. They
which is
see
not
what I
me.
see.
Why would you vote for a person your own senior leadership of your party does not want to support? They're holding his fucking money now.
Right. That's what I believe. I don't believe polls. I believe $90 million on hold.
$90 million on hold for sure. But the point is, people are going to vote on their values.
Yeah, I agree.
And they
So
value.
let's just see. We'll find out
winning.
November
We'll
5th.
find out November 5th.
Yeah, we'll find
In the
out.
meanwhile, we're going to laugh at that this is over.
I'm going to laugh at the entire thing. It's just, I mean, of course, I knew this would happen, but a lot of people, talked about how MAGA we are, D and I.
Yeah, D and U are very MAGA. And I think, you have to kind
If
of.
the Democrats don't have Indians speaking at their convention, then I'm MAGA.
I mean, I think you have to
Republicans
actually.
had fucking mad Indians up in
He's a
there.
simple
Vivek
voter.
speaking, the Sikh lady speaking.
I think you have to ultimately just kind of judge on how you want the world to live. And
No, but Biden didn't do anything to your values. He just made you
What are you
feel
talking
better
about?
that a guy that shares your values is in there.
He's talking
He
about the
didn't make
Roe
any
v. Wade in
change.
his next term. Do it right now.
He made
What
no
do you-
change.
what-
Guns
you
are
mean no
the
change?
same. Roe
what are
v.
you
Wade,
talking
same.
about? Economy's on fire.
But that's
That's
your
not
values.
Biden.
Yes. That's the
There's
values.
your
The
real
values is money.
values.
Yeah,
Right.
fuck you and all that other stuff. It's just about
You
money.
need that's MAGA values. I'm
Yes.
saying when you're talking about values, what you're really talking about is
No. I actually completely disagree with both of you.
You saying stock market. You say stock market's on fire.
said
and
my
you give
values
us a
and then you
lecture
said
on
stock
values.
Yeah, no, the values are
The
basically
value
like-
has gone up in the stocks. Yes.
and
stocks went up at the thought of Trump being more likely
unemployment's
to get
at
elected.
all-time low.
But that's not values that you got. You're
And then we can actually protect abortion rights.
How? What has he done?
he didn't do it. It backfired
Well, he
on
can't
him.
because the fucking Republicans.
But why will he be
run
able
the
to
Senate.
next
So
time?
why
It's
would
going
he
to be
do
the
it
same
next time?
story.
He'll do the same thing.
He can't do anything.
Right, nothing.
Nothing.
So what's your point? Why do you want Trump? Tell me now. Tell me now. Now.
No,
Fuck you. Tell me now.
you're not letting us talk. You're
All right,
screaming.
both of you. Tell
You
me why
Wokies
you want
get
Trump.
Very violent.
They get defensive
No.
because they
I want to hear the answer.
I know they get violent.
So why don't you answer?
Because
You're
I
both stuttering.
No.
Stuttering.
You're not even letting us talk.
See,
You're
just
just so
talking.
you know, you don't sound good listening to that. Just screaming and yelling.
All right.
Listen.
So what's your answer?
My
Why do you
answer
want
is
Trump?
because Biden
you
is
go.
so incompetent that I do not think he's fit to be president of the United States. That is my one single reason why I cannot vote for Joe Biden. I am not voting for Donald Trump as of yet. I'm not saying I won't or I will. I don't know yet. I'm undecided on that. If I had to vote right this second and I had to go to the ballot box, I'm voting for RFK as a non-support to either candidate.
Okay.
Right.
Drama.
Here's my answer.
Tell me your Trump. Tell me your pro-Trump answer.
Shut up. Listen.
Yeah.
Here's my answer. That's
No,
not
but
going
how
to.
am I shutting up?
You're not letting him speak.
You're saying, hey, can you tell me? Tell me now. Tell me.
Yeah, it doesn't
You're asking
work.
a question and then you're filling up the space. Here's my answer that's not going to be satisfying, but I have to leave entertainment to just give an honest answer. I'm not voting for one of the presidents. I think the whole thing this year is a joke. I don't share Trump's values. I also really don't share the Democrats' values. Even this law that just got passed in California about not telling parents if their kid, I don't like it. I don't like any of it, is my honest answer. My comedy answer is I think fist pumping after being shot and just the momentum that Trump has right now is amazing and ridiculous. But I am not voting for him. Now, my point is that gets a little muddy is I do think the attitude around exceptionalism and winning and the future and succeeding that Trump and them bring to the table is great. And I think the whole victim, everyone's a victim, how are you a victim around that the other party has chosen is really toxic. That being said, I'm not voting. I could do the RFK like kind of protest vote, but why even waste the time of going to the polls? That's my honest answer. So I know the joke is we're very Trumpy. We're voting for Trump. We've officially turned. That's not actually what's happening. We just, I think, have got, we've fallen out of love with the Democratic. Nothing's happened. What did they do? We have two new wars.
So I would like to question you on what the Republicans have done that you feel so confident about.
But he's not voting for them.
I'm not voting for them, but
no,
this is what I'll tell you that I like.
No, I'm
I'll tell
saying
you what I
like you're so against the Democrats. So what has the Republicans done that you feel like, hey, this is what I'm aligned with?
The thing that I just want to make sure, because there are people listening and I don't want to misrepresent myself. I haven't left the Democrats to go to the Republicans. Neither makes sense to me this time around. But the couple things that I do like are that if you look back at reality, not what everyone said Trump was going to do, not all the fear mongering and the crazy media shit, there was no wars. There was a negotiation to get out of Afghanistan. There was a de-escalation globally. And all the things that we made fun of Trump for, like going to meet with Kim Jong-un, and he's friends with Putin, and he loves dictators, I have to say it resulted in de-escalation. And then you get into immediate escalation globally, where now we are legitimately talking about feeling like we're on the verge of nuclear war. Keep in mind, with Trump, we said he's going to start a nuclear war. Fear mongering. Nothing actually happened. Not even close to anything actually happened. But today, we talk about how we're on the verge of World War III legitimately under
How so?
Biden.
I mean, you talk to anyone.
Tell me how so.
Everyone,
Because they're
How do you think
escalating.
we're on World War III? Sorry, I don't.
I'm
buy
saying that is a legitimate concern with the continued escalations in Ukraine and the response from Putin that he's prepared to blah, blah, blah. And where's any negotiation talk? We don't know of. And as far as it seems, there has been zero effort to de-escalate or to not go to war. It's all been continued escalations, and Putin is bad and Putin is evil and blah, blah, blah. I have to pay attention when Putin gets on a stage right after the debate and says, I hear that Trump wants, one of his first things is he's going to end the war in Ukraine. That is a talk that we would take very seriously. That's the type of tone that I want to live in. I don't want to live in this escalation, more money, more things, more threats.
I don't think there's a threat of World War III. So I think
right.
that's false.
I mean,
That's 100% false.
what happened? What's happening in Taiwan and China? That is a serious threat that any serious business person is fully aware of. That they know that it's almost like it's going to happen in our lifetime.
But that's like it's honestly like a chess piece. They're not actually gonna take over Taiwan.
Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Give me a reason why they wouldn't. Why not?
But
So you think they're going to take over Taiwan?
I bet you within 10
regardless
years.
of the presidency.
I don't know. Maybe Trump. They're more
so
afraid
you
of
want
it.
Trump? You think Trump's going to solve?
I
Taiwan,
think Trump
China?
is better
Oh my
against
God.
China. Even Jamie Dimon came out and said no one liked the guy, but he was right on several things. He was right on China. He was right on Russia. He was right on the tariffs. He was right on things on American protectionism. He was right on that. And Jamie Dimon, who's an objective, all he cares about is money.
I mean, Jamie Dimon's a fucking clown.
Okay, well, he might
my
be the
opinion.
next Secretary of Treasury.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Yeah, so
this is all I'm saying.
These
I actually
people are
wanna-
not clowns.
Jamie Dimon's a clown.
But he's not. He's
It
the CEO of
doesn't
the most
matter. It's
powerful
like-
bank in the world, and he could be the next Treasury Secretary. So he's not a clown. It's the same way.
Well, just because he gets this kind of statue of like a profession that he's not a clown.
I mean, I think he's proven to be very good at what he does.
I think he's terrible at what he does.
You would be in the minority if you said Jamie
I mean, he's
Dimon.
run wrong on crypto for fucking 12 years.
That's
so-
all. You're
but-
holding him on that one thing.
That's one thing
And
that you're
Trump
very
is
passionate
pro
about.
crypto.
What's that?
Trump's pro crypto.
Trump's pro crypto, but Jamie Dimon's anti crypto. So how do they
But
reconcile?
so your value is based on crypto then.
No, I think he's just not as
On
smart
that
as
one
everyone
issue-
thinks.
No,
I
on-
don't think these people are as smart as everyone thinks they are.
No one
That's
said-
my point.
But are
Yeah,
the
but
Democrats?
Like Jamie Dimon is not as smart as everyone thinks he
You're
is.
just shouting.
what about-
You're not saying anything.
What about everyone?
How am I
in-
shouting?
You are shouting.
Listen, I actually want to go back a step and say that I don't think D or I even, it's not a good argument to say that we are on the verge of World War III. That's not what we're saying. What I'm saying is all of the talk, the thing that is real is there is continued money being sent and continued escalation rhetoric in Ukraine. There is continued escalation rhetoric around China and Taiwan. There's continued, it's just continuing, as opposed to de-escalation talk. We don't talk about de-escalation. And I think that in the Trump era, which I wish that wasn't our option on that side, but under that era, you have to look at all of the Democrats said this guy, oh my God, he has the nuclear codes. He's going to get pissed one day and shoot a nuclear bomb. He's going to blah, blah, blah. And there was none of that happening. And I think the fact that all of the conversations are just about tensions and escalation is really bad. Not that I'm not saying there's going to be a World War III. And I'm not going to feed into, I'm not a CNN host. I'm just saying that, like, it's the rhetoric, it's the talk. Israel, Palestine, there's no, like, look, at the end of the day, people are incredibly fucking pissed on both sides about this Israel, Palestine thing. Like, no matter what side you're on, it's bad. People aren't happy. There is no talk about how we start to wind that down. There's no talk about it. It's just, oh, we sent 500-pound bombs. Oh, we this, we that. Oh, yeah. Zelensky's back in town. He wants more money. Oh, they're doing war games in China. It's just like, what the fuck, dude? That's what I'm saying. I wish it wasn't Trump. I'm not voting for Trump, but I'm just telling you that I have, for lack of a better word, fallen out of love with the Democrats' strategy. And to have this fucking guy bumbling around on stage and to gaslight and act like it's not happening and then wait for a debate to be like, oh, that was a shock. He's so bad. Like, fuck off, dude.
So I guess there's two different points. I think one is basically like, hey, this is how we should look at the world. And I don't think either party does a good job at that.
Fair. I agree. I don't think either one has a complete vision. I think
like if you want to go back to George Bush, he literally spent $1 trillion, $2 trillion in Iraq wars.
Yeah, I agree with
that. Wasn't smart.
Yep.
And, you know, Zelensky's a fraction of that. Like, what is he, 150? Something like that.
That's just one area we're burning money. You want me to start listing everywhere we're burning money? It adds up way past trillions.
So I guess the point is that this is how we've conducted ourselves as America.
Right.
So why is this any different?
Yeah, we're allowed to vote for whoever we want. We're over it. We're not voting for that guy anymore.
Yeah,
It's a vibe. It's a bad vibe.
I also think maybe part of it is I just didn't know. Like, I think in the Obama era, I was like, man, Obama's amazing. He's so great, such a great leader. I do think he, you know, visually and the way he spoke and was an incredible leader. And I do think that matters. Yeah, I think it matters that we have strong leadership. I think that matters a lot, not an old guy who has trouble, you know, finding his way around. But maybe I just didn't know. Maybe if the internet existed and I would have seen what Obama was actually up to, I would have been disillusioned then too. I'm not trying to claim that I know the answer.
Bush was $2 trillion.
Yeah, but I'm just saying we can pick apart everyone. Yeah,
you can go to Vietnam, you can go to
president.
So maybe I just know now, and I expect now that you know more, you expect more. Like when you see the truth, you're like, okay, well, who's going to actually give real solutions? I don't think either are giving real solutions, but I am absolutely mesmerized by this Trump thing, this bleeding, fist pumping. I'm still not voting, but you can't be penalized for mentioning how fucking crazy it is.
Yeah, it's blockbuster.
And when you watch, I watched a little bit of the RNC, like whatever I could, and like you can just tell there's a momentum. There's
an energy.
Yeah, that's just like, oh shit. And look, maybe we're wrong. I think there's a momentum that just takes the election.
Actually, here's my hot take. My hot take is it's not done.
Well, you have to believe that. You want to support your guy,
right?
I believe every year USC is good at football, and every year we suck.
Right.
I'm delusional.
And keep in mind here,
we're going to go to Michigan and lose by 50.
Like, we're not saying like, oh, it is over, Trump won. This is a little bit of comedy here. There's always a chance.
Wants Trump, so it's fine.
He didn't say that.
This is how woke people talk. This is why nobody listens to woke people. You didn't even hear what I said. I'm voting for RFK. Voting. My vote is the only thing that matters in who I want to win, and I'm voting for
In California, it
Robert
doesn't matter.
Kennedy Jr.
Right, I think
So
there's
now
a
you're saying my
difference
vote
between-
doesn't count. So why do you care who I vote for or who I support?
I know what
It's
you
just-
want.
It's just the wokies. The wokies, if you say anything nice about Trump, they say, oh,
Like, for
You're
example,
one of them.
I was always told MAGA is highly racist.
right.
Racist. When you go to the South, they're going to fucking beat you up.
Yeah.
That is what I was told. I'm watching this convention and I am shocked at what's on stage.
Right.
The party thinks putting black women, Indians up on stage is actually a good idea.
Right.
That
But
means
that's my
the
question. My question is, so was that real, or were little things taken out of context and grossly magnified by the left media? And if
Yeah.
that is the case, I feel a little duped and pissed about that.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you feel duped about? Sorry.
What I feel duped, here's my take is, I think, am I saying Trump is the guy? See, this is where it gets, I got to be able to be gray here. Am I saying Trump is the best guy on earth and a stand-up citizen and should be exactly the model of what we strive to be? No. But is he racist? Is he a dictator? Is he the end of democracy in America? Is he this warpath, psychopath, psycho? Or was that all manufactured by the left media, which made our lives from 2016 to 2020 significantly less enjoyable because we had to live in this environment of this crazy dictator leader? And it was all kind of bullshit. Like the whole Russia thing was fake. Colluding with Russia. I remember I used to joke about like, oh yeah, he probably fucking had prostitutes pee on him in a Russian hotel. I just accepted that as fact. It was fake. It was, even when you go back and look at, find people on both sides, even when you go back and really now with a 2024 brain and listen to what he said, it's not quite the way that it was magnified on the media. And yeah, I do feel kind of duped because I if nothing else, it added like a layer of stress and, chaos to life. Was it really worth it?
So I guess there's two different things, right? Like you have to believe in conservative values, and Trump believes in conservative values. And regardless of what was fake or not and how the media, mainstream media try to portray it.
Yeah, but they made us feel like if we had some conservative values in our bone, that we were bad people. That's what they made Americans feel.
No,
Not
but
only that, they made you feel
have
like
to
there was
believe,
a psychopath at the helm, that at any moment we could all be blown apart and fucking
no,
racism.
so like I think about this pretty clearly in terms of I know what I want America to look like, and it's not Trump's values.
Okay, you're allowed to think like that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's great. Good for you.
But also, like, in the same token, okay, let me ask you this. Is it 100% of the current Democrat agenda's values? Is that your values?
No, of course not. I disagree with a lot of what Democrats think.
That's the same way you could say about conservative. You
Okay,
could agree with 95% of things of conservative values, and the 5%.
No, like I think you should, prosecute criminals. Like
that's not a democratic agenda.
I'm saying this
Sorry
is
to tell you.
my value.
Yeah,
Sorry to
you
tell you.
walked around the city. That is not part of what we are doing here.
Right. So all that I'm
The
saying
woman
is
that
you
got-
can be,
yeah.
that's sort of left of center. And what we're talking about at the moment is kind of right of center. The whole thing about America is we can both believe those things. We go have our contest every 4 years and we live with whatever happened peacefully and happily. And that's all it is. But it's become this crazy other thing. And my only complaint to you on it, because I'm complaining about my own values, is okay, so Trump was this big bad guy, racist, conservative, terribly conservative, alt-right, all this stuff. Biden got into office. What changed? When it comes to guns, abortion, all of these things. Nothing changed.
Yeah, I think it's tough when you have a split House and Senate.
I agree. So if it's tough, and it's always going to be tough, then I'm going to go with lower taxes.
Yeah, it's fair.
Right? It's kind of what I'm saying, even though once again, I'm not voting. But like, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like maybe this is part of just the new access to information from the internet or whatever. But like, you just kind of see like the whole veil of like, no, we're the good people. We're the virtuous ones. It just kind of lifted for me.
That I don't like. I do not like that at all.
I think we're all kind of talking over each other in a sense.
I don't think so. I think we're actually getting to a resolution here.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay to have different views. It's
Right.
okay to have different values. And voters will vote and we will figure out what the country
problem
looks like.
is it upsets you that we are warming up to Trump. It actually upsets you. I don't care that if you vote for Biden or not. I don't give a shit. It upsets liberal people that people are warming up to the fact that Donald Trump's gonna be president again. That to me is not.
So I guess separately, yes, I don't want Donald Trump to be president.
That's fine.
That's fine.
You can have that.
I can have that view, right?
But you can't be upset if other people are changing their mind. Because you said everyone is allowed to have their opinion, but you are actually upset at us.
I'm not upset at you guys. I just think you guys are misinformed.
We feel the same way about you.
Right.
That's fair.
But I think that has to be the part where like you can say,
look, I'm not gonna not be friends with drama. I'm not going to be not friends with you.
Well, you have no choice with me. You have a choice with drama.
No, you don't. But that's the point. Like that's not, there's no way to say this without sounding cheesy as fuck, but that is America. We should be able to go have a cocktail and be like, you're a fucking idiot. You blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're so dumb. And then like, that's the whole thing. But instead it's become like, no, you're evil and you're stupid and you're, I fucking hate.
But I'm open to never being different to you or D because we differ on things in the country.
What do you mean never being different?
Meaning like I'm going to be the same friend to you and the same brother to D regardless of our views.
Right. And that is the cheesy dream of America. That's what it should be. But I think the media.
What you're saying is you want to make America great again.
So if I get this right, here's my point is I think the terrible thing is that is true of most people in America. That is what makes America awesome. None of us get punished for thinking this way or for disagreeing. But I think that the media makes money from making you look really bad to the right person and the right person look really bad to the left person. That's where they get their clicks and sell their ads. And that's how you get wild shit like attempted assassinations or fucking riots or protests or January 6th or everything that both sides has been guilty of.
They purposely stoke people all fucking day. Like I watched a clip from Kara Swisher and Scott Galloway. It just is. You're purposely stoking the fire.
They're really bad.
Yeah. And it's just
so
not
bad.
cool. Like, I don't think it's cool when Fox News does it. I don't think it's cool when CNN does it. I don't think
Can you guys congratulate me on being measured?
What are you measured about? I think you're delusional. I'll congratulate you on being delusional.
This is you.
Meaning like I'm not going to be different to you guys.
No, of course you're not, because you're not a psychopath idiot. You're a smart, reasonable person. You might get a little frustrated sometimes. We all do. But we're back. Let's go have a cocktail. America.
Well, speaking of good news, because we should pivot to that.
Yep.
So, everywhere I go, everyone keeps telling me I can't get any Zyn. I can't get any Zyn. And I actually thought they got banned. I wasn't even paying attention. I'm like, they banned Zyn? That sucks.
No, it's too popular, dude. It's like Beanie Babies in the 90s.
Yes. Philip Morris is building a $600 million plant in Colorado to meet the steep increase in demand.
Yeah. I mean,
Can you this fucking thing Zyn it's like Ozempic big.
Yeah, it is. Except for it's Ozempic is not like Zyn is like a brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the way people talk.
Ozempic's a brand. Ozempic's a brand.
It's a brand, but I don't think people.
When you see someone skinny, you immediately go, "Oh, you're on Ozempic."
Right.
That's
So
like,
it is.
You get a Xerox.
Okay. Let me say this. Let me say it differently. Zyn is a lifestyle brand.
I'm gonna have to push back. I think Ozempic's a lifestyle.
Do you think people are like meeting up at TGI Fridays and they're like, "Yo, you on Wegovy or Ozempic?" And there's like the Ozempic table.
Did you try the Zyn I sent you?
I did. I like it. It's we'll talk about it off air. It's
Okay.
great. It's all good things, but I don't want to talk about the company publicly.
I think the interesting thing is the Zyn thing is in such early days because I went out with 2 groups of different parents in the last week, and I made a Zyn joke, and nobody knew what I was talking about.
Really?
Yeah, and
Parents.
I was like, "Oh, we haven't even fucking
Scratch the surface.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
like I think like adult, and when I mean adult, I'm saying 40 plus, right? I think your average adult 40 plus year old American that lives in the big city. I think in the middle of the country, dipping tobacco, things of that nature has always been popular.
Right.
In the coast, you didn't really see it. I only saw it through the lens of younger people. Now I'm seeing it my age group, a lot of people doing Zyn. But when I hear that people have not heard of it and don't know what it is and why people do it, makes me think the opportunity is, and I don't think it's big internationally yet. And it's a lot easier from regulation standpoint to scale. This thing is going to be bigger than we all think.
I definitely agree. I think Zyn is just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
So like, I think there's
Think about how many people still smoke every day and how big cigarette industry is.
and dipping, right? Dipping is not considered kind of like, something that's acceptable in, normal life.
Yeah.
But Zyn, you just put it in.
Yeah.
Right. And here's the other thing that I'll tell you guys as someone who's like surrounded by Zyn is like meaning no one I talk to doesn't know what Zyn is. They all fucking have like a circular wear in their jeans from their Zyn fucking container. But is the real market opportunity is not former smokers and former dippers.
No, I agree.
It's people that do not even know yet the benefits, the cognitive benefits of nicotine. And I'm not here to say full health, it's all great, everyone should do it. I don't know, but I know that it's a lot. People still associate nicotine with cigarettes. And there's a whole nother world of nicotine with no cigarettes that is very interesting. And I think there's a lot of untapped knowledge there.
In 5 years ago, if you were listening to this podcast and you would have said we're talking pro-Trump and nicotine, would you not believe? You wouldn't believe it.
No,
you
but
would not believe.
no.
So
This is
I'll actually go.
Imagine if this episode came out 4 years ago. We would instantly.
I wish we could go back to the future, play this episode talking about the Republican National Convention and how important nicotine is, and then replay it. People would be looking at us like lunatics.
Drama, I actually want to like kind of gauge your temperature on this because I believe Rogan literally changes like kind of what culture is doing. So cold plunge, sauna, nicotine.
I think for young
those
men,
are all his.
Yeah, I think for young men, he has an enormous impact. But outside of that, I don't think he's scratched the surface.
But I don't think anyone would be talking about nicotine if it weren't for Rogan.
Yeah, but think about
Don't you agree, Drama?
But that's young men. I think in the young, he has 100% influence or at least awareness to young men on the
I mean, I plunged 3 days this week.
you're part of that
It's so
cohort
weird.
of
Dude.
young men.
There's a part of you. You're like bipolar, but one side's MAGA and the other side's.
You want to be MAGA. You're just
You're
holding
like the
on to the last.
economy and my cold plunge.
Yeah, you're like nicotine. You're like
My
pro
nicotine,
nicotine, pro
yeah.
economy. Like you're holding on to abortion. That's it.
Yep.
Gun laws.
That's never changing. I gave up on that. I know for a fact we can never change that.
Yeah, but you get my point, Drama, right?
Yes,
That
yes. Because I do want to also. Yeah, I want to point out that all of the top podcast, like, because you could also say like, well, the Nelk boys talk about Zyn a lot or the blah, 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 but they all get it from Rogan. So I think that he's like the top of the waterfall, and every other podcaster and content creator in the male demographic listens to him, and then they go do the thing.
Yeah.
So yes, I think
do you know young women doing Zyn?
No, zero.
I know young women vaping. I see that all the time.
young
A lot of
women
vaping.
love to vape.
Which is
Vaping
terrible compared to Zyn.
So, but I haven't. I've constantly seen West Hollywood young women vaping. I don't know. Like, you can't tell if people are have Zyn in their mouth or not. But like,
Yeah, I know.
don't know.
They need a female. I think packing your lip with something is a little.
that's true.
Not sexy for
Yeah.
ladies.
I also think. I mean, I tried what are the milligrams? 6 and 3.
3
and 6.
Three's the one that I gave Drama.
I tried 3, and honestly, from intro pack for me, 3 was too much. Like, I need to start with 1 if they have that.
Like you got nausea.
I did not feel good. Like
You
it
feel
was
kind
like
of lightheaded and jittery,
and it was like really sharp in my throat.
yeah, burns a little.
Yeah, and I didn't like that feeling, and I was like, I'm good with this. I tried it again, and I still didn't enjoy it. And I feel like if there was a lighter version of it as a gateway drug,
Right. I'm sure there's some gateway drugs out there, but keep in mind, like, some of our friends are doing like 20.
yeah. Well, that some people smoke 1 joint, some people
Or
smoke a whole bag.
Right. Yeah. But I think that is it's so easy to still, and I think everyone does still make the connection to like, oh, I used to smoke, or I do this instead of smoking, or I do this instead of vaping or whatever. But if it was treated like caffeine is treated, like, oh, I need a coffee. I have a meeting. I need a coffee. I have a phone call. I need a coffee.
Yeah.
If it was, I need some caffeine and some nicotine to get this report done, that is a market that is so much bigger than what we're talking about.
And I'll even say that you gave me some Neuro Gum and Neuro Mints.
Yeah.
And the Neuro Mints, I'm fully addicted to.
Really?
Yeah. Every day I take them now.
You feel a difference?
I do feel a difference. And I don't like to drink, 2 cups of coffee is what I normally drink. I'd rather just drink 1 in the morning and no more coffee for the rest of the day, because I don't want it to affect my sleep later in the day.
Right.
And I found these mints to be like a great quick coffee fix.
And what do the mints do? They spice you up.
They're nootropic.
Yeah, they're nootropic. Big nootropic guy.
He's big on nootropics.
You should
Yeah, I mean, you get a
nicotine.
nootropic, a nicotine pouch, and a shot of espresso. You're fucking Elon Musk. You're designing rockets.
Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, at least there's good news. Help is on the way, people. America's going to be back. There's going to be Zyn flooding the streets next year.
We're going to be fist pumping, fight, packing our lips full of Zyns. I'm not saying it, I'm just recognizing where we're going.
I'm investing in a Zyn company. We're going to have the founder on.
Nicotine,
Soon.
you mean?
Yeah, but a
Nicotine.
nicotine.
Not Zyn company.
Yeah. Because I think Philip Morris has a monopoly on manufacturing nicotine.
Yeah. Well, that's how these guys win. They're good at that.
I mean, this seems like this untapped market seems so big that like the 3rd, 4th, 5th companies will all be hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's like cigarettes. There's so many cigarette companies at the peak of smoking.
You know, Juul's on a comeback, by the way.
I hope so. They got a bad rep.
I've heard that.
Everyone's vaping. Let them fucking do their
I
thing.
know, dude. They got fucked. They just came
They
in
created
first.
the industry.
Got
Like
fucked.
they invented the car.
Yeah.
And now everyone else got to
Yeah.
reap the benefits.
I think Juul's on fire.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, vaping is hot. All the young
Oh,
people I'm
vaping's
around are vaping their
insane.
tits off.
Yeah, literally every 5 seconds.
And you want to
I
talk
see-
about like the way I feel about the vaccine. Like we don't know. I think vaping is worse, obviously, but like, we don't know, like, what are all these 80-year-olds who vaped their whole lives? We don't even know what the things are going to be.
Yeah, the side effects.
Can you bleep this out, Josh?
Wow, good for them.
Yeah,
They're
that's
great.
fucking, yeah. I just wonder, like, these vapes that these kids are smoking,
Yeah.
like,
They have
who
like
the
video
fuck?
games on them now. Yeah,
They
it's-
do. And they're like from China, some fucking weird, like, who's checking? I mean, there's
Oh,
no
there's
checks and balances, right? There's
I'm
a new
sure people
company
are
every
just-
week.
Be buying vapes up Temu for 60 cents and just, what is this? Rat poison? Great.
Send it to
Vape me up.
America. I mean, there's like a new hot brand, you know, there's a geek bar and a puff bar and a video game one, like, and they just come in waves and all of a sudden everyone has the new thing. They're just sucking down whatever was sent in there and then they move on to the next one.
Speaking of moving on, big news in our world, streetwear world.
Yeah.
Luxottica, the luxury eyewear manufacturer and license holder.
So they're basically a monopoly on eyewear.
Yeah, Ray-Ban, Oakley, they own Sunglass Hut, Lens Crafters, and then they have a license for like basically every luxury brand in the world. Has purchased Supreme.
Pretty wild. Do they
For
own any
1.5
apparel?
No. They bought it for $1.5 billion. Supreme originally sold to VF Corp, which owns North Face and Vans and all these like iconic brands, for $2 billion. They ran it for a couple of years.
Rough couple of years.
Yeah, rough couple of years. I think like the COVID bump and slowdown really probably affected the brand. And I think what they realized is they didn't have the DNA to operate a brand like Supreme. Right? Like it's not traditional wholesale distribution. It's this like, I think they were doing $500 million when they got bought and they thought they can get to $1 billion. Yeah. I think they thought they could get to $1 billion. It clearly did not get there. It's a great buy. Look, it's an iconic brand. It's going to live on forever. So I think it's a great deal. I'm just shocked that this is the company that bought it. It felt like other people could have bought this brand.
Right.
I kind of think even Farfetch is selling a lot of their brands.
Yeah.
That's like publicly known.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious in the sense that do these brands matter as much as they did 10 years ago?
Yeah, brands always change what's relevant and important. I think if you look 20 years out, Supreme is still here.
Because Farfetch is selling Newgards Group.
Yeah. But those brands, like Off-White, is not Supreme.
I mean, Supreme still did 520 million in 22. That's like absurd still for a streetwear company.
And I'm sure it's extremely profitable still, right? Like,
yeah, I'm sure.
So I think like it's still a good brand and a good business. It may have been in the hands of the wrong operator. I think a luxury company can do better by it because they can be more patient. But I think it's just a sign. I don't think it's a sign on Supreme. I actually think it's more of a sign of the times. Burberry also reported their earnings. Burberry sales were down 23%.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts. Can you imagine a company of that size? I'm trying to look up what their total revenue was. But like, that is just staggering that a luxury iconic brand, right? Like there are people that walk in, they did $3.7 billion in 2023. 23% last quarter down is fucking a disaster.
Yeah. Just so crazy.
I think the consumer's soft.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt in
It's definitely
that.
part of it. Yeah.
I also don't think these luxury brands have the staying power that they probably thought they did 2 years ago. And it's pretty tough. Like Chanel's down. All these brands are down. And it's been disintermediated by, all these different D2C companies of like what luxury is. And I don't know if the 22-year-old cares about Burberry the way they did 20 years ago.
I
But they
think
do
the
care about like aloe, like there's just, it's
Yeah.
just the cycle. Like there's new
Yeah.
Lululemon, there's just new ones come, new ones go. I think Supreme was like, I mean, if you think about streetwear for what Supreme was, 500 million in sales, 2 billion in an exit is fucking insane. And I think they just couldn't take it to that next level. Maybe, it's just tough. The whole thing is built
But
on exclusivity.
I would love to gauge like a young demo. Is Supreme, do you feel like you want to go buy the Supreme shirt?
It depends on who you ask, but they
Yeah.
all want brands. They want, like I said, aloe or there's the Supreme kid, there's the aloe girl, there's the, brands are still so important. It's just
the brand's more important than ever. I think the Gen Z consumer is just tapped out at the moment.
Meaning they have no money.
No money. I don't think it's a reflection. Like, think about it. If you could own Burberry, why wouldn't you want to own Burberry? It was been around 100 plus years. It's going to be around another 100 years. It's an iconic brand. It just has a bad run. Owning these types of brands, Supreme or Burberry, they're going to be around. Like Nautica is still doing $1 billion of business. Nautica. Who the fuck is wearing Nautica? It's still doing it. These brands are just, once you're ingrained in people's minds, you exist forever.
I mean, am I reading this right? Lululemon does 8 billion and
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah, and I think when you look at a Supreme, it has 100% awareness amongst its core customer, and they only do $500 million. It's kind of weird. But if it's available to everyone, then maybe the brand isn't cool anymore. And it's not. They're in it's a very tough spot in that genre of clothing.
I also
Whereas
think
Lululemon, everyone wears it. If you told me Lululemon 10 years from now does 20 billion, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
I think Supreme also like maxed out the printable fucking logo business. To do 500 million when you're selling t-shirts and hoodies and stickers and things, what they sell at a skate shop.
Yeah.
Is crazy.
But it's crazy that they sold at a discount.
Yeah.
To the last round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
But I think that, getting out at 2 billion, that's the success story. You built a t-shirt skate brand and had a $2 billion exit. That's where the story ends, in my opinion. Whatever happened after that, I don't care.
Did you guys watch The Shop with Jerry Lorenzo?
No, I didn't watch it. Was it
good?
Yeah, it's Sexy Red and who was it? Maverick Carter, and there's one other person. Sorry. But anyways, it's great.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Shop is HBO, right?
Shop is it's on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay. Let's wrap it up. Winners, losers, content D. Who's your winner of the week?
Just to keep the momentum. We're going with the RNC.
I mean,
The hype is hot.
Look, you don't have to. You don't have to vote for him to recognize a winner.
Yeah, and I'm just going with the Republican National Convention because I went back to my statement earlier where I was always made feel like the Republican Party was old white people. Right. And it's just not that anymore.
Yeah.
That's it. That's my winner.
I think they're changing. I think it looks to me, maybe I'm putting this on them. It looks to me like they see a hole that they could really take, which is
they finally have a smart strategist on their team. They're like, yeah, put some Indians up there, put some black people up there.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. Let's win.
Think about all the content you've been seeing about like the black community being disillusioned by the Democrats. I mean, Charlemagne the God has been very outspoken about it. Like, I think if you're smart and you're a strategist on the other side, you're like, okay, this is our chance.
Yeah, this is it.
We haven't had this forever. Yeah, now we can be diverse. Anand?
My winner's two different things. One is our friend Rafa. His guy won the home run derby.
Teoscar Hernandez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge.
Congratulations to Rafa. I know he listens to the pod, and I think his kids actually listen too.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, congrats, Rafa. That's huge. It was fun watching it. I didn't like the angle of the home run derby this year.
What do you mean?
Where they had the camera when they were hitting, I couldn't see how far the ball was going. I didn't like the angle. I like the old angle.
Okay, it's fair.
That's
Rafa,
a good note.
you have some clout here. Make some
good note.
Yeah, Rafa's a big deal now.
Yeah, make some comment about the angle.
And then the second winner is Team USA
For what sport?
basketball.
Okay.
So I watched the game this morning.
What is it? It's like an exhibition?
Yeah, it's all exhibition.
Okay.
So
Is
they
it-
beat Serbia this morning.
About 100?
No, it was kind of close.
Really?
That's an L then. Then they're
It's
losers.
Jokic.
Oh, I didn't know he was playing.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
But yeah, Team USA. It's just so fun to watch these guys. These guys
Yeah.
are like superheroes.
I'm looking forward to the Olympics.
Right. For my winner, I'll give it to, like I mentioned at the start of the show, Kill Tony. Everyone should go watch it. If you don't, care that much, watch.
Where do you watch it? Where is
YouTube.
Kill Tony?
YouTube.
Okay.
But watch the last one if you're going to watch any of them with the Trump and Biden. It's just really good. And yeah, everyone should check it out. It's also, I can't believe YouTube lets it stay up. I mean, they use some language that is not very...
I mean, it's
San
YouTube. It's where
Francisco,
hate
you know what I
speech
mean?
started.
And sorry,
I know, but
I
I
want to
thought
add the shop, Andre 3000. He was
Okay.
amazing.
Oh, nice.
I mean, that's a big star to admit.
Yeah,
Right.
Sorry. I
Jeez.
apologize.
Okay, losers. Who's your loser D?
Gonna hurt for one cohort of our listeners, but England, fucking losers. For the Euros,
What they do?
they were in the finals, and
It's not coming home.
The whole thing is it's coming home. It's coming home. You fucking losers! This
didn't
was
go
your
home.
shot. You guys know? Go home. It's not coming home.
You're
I was
going home.
embarrassed. I was embarrassed for English people.
Right.
I
Okay.
was rooting for you guys.
That's fair.
Clowns.
That's fair. It's loser of the week. I mean, you have to say it.
Yeah.
If you're a loser, you're a loser. Anand?
Loser. Good question.
Joe?
I think.
Say it.
No, I actually don't have a loser. I think I'm
very
very
positive
positive
of you.
this week.
Okay. That's really
So
good.
we keep going.
Mine, I will give it to Kimberly Cheadle. First of all, I just want to point out, we had a little confusion on the last pod that this woman was the head of Trump's detail that was formerly at PepsiCo. She is the director of the Secret Service. And this is one specific thing that I would like to give her a loser for, is she did an interview, which is weird that that's normal. Like, how about don't do an interview, like address the actual problem?
It's called Secret
right.
Service.
Right.
You know what?
It's not called Service.
Now that you're
It's called
talking,
Secret Service.
my loser is actually the Secret Service.
Right.
Apparently, this guy was hanging out there for 3 fucking hours.
He went to Home Depot and got a ladder.
He went and bought ammo. He went to the gun range on Friday, ammo on Saturday, ladder in the afternoon.
And they saw him an hour before.
How does that happen?
I know. But here's
I'm smelling-
This is deep state, right?
This is very fishy.
See, you're coming over. Just
Yeah.
come on over. But here's why I want to specifically call out Cheadle is she said in her interview that the reason there was not a watch person on that roof is because it was sloped.
Yeah. There's a lot of really good things, like someone said about Bin Laden, if the roof was sloped.
Right.
Just like the most insane.
It is
memes.
insane. And the
So
fact that she is
I-
not fired or stepping down, or it's just like, yep, sloped roofs, we don't mess with that. And the buck stops with me.
I mean, what are you talking about? I've been in New York City when the presidents come. There's snipers on every fucking corner in every
Listen,
goddamn
the photo
building.
of the snipers behind Trump are on a sloped roof. It's so dumb.
I have a good story. We could bleep out his name if you want. One of
Yeah.
our best friends
Yeah.
was in New York when Obama was in town, and he literally went to whatever apartment window he was at, and a sniper went like this,
Yeah, shook
Yeah.
his finger.
waved him off.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, get out.
Right.
Listen up, you Iranian.
This guy's fucking doing
Step
push-ups.
the fucking back.
right. This little dork is doing fucking cartwheels on the roof of an obvious sniper
Come
post.
get me, man.
It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense.
And I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
saying,
disgusting.
in a few
And it's not
years-
acceptable that the fact that this even is possible.
Right, because you have to keep in mind, even with all of our jokes aside, and no matter how you feel about Trump, innocent people were killed and shot.
Yeah, a fire
Like if
chief.
nothing else, that was still a
Yeah.
public shooting of innocent civilians. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It's
Like
really
if that was at the state fair, that's gross incompetence. It's so crazy. Anyway, Cheeto. Content. Do you got content?
only content I have is if you're in LA this weekend, Monster Jam is here. And if you have little kids, particularly little boys, Monster Jam is the place to be.
That seems
that
pretty
Monster
nice.
Jam
Is that
is
a
the
MAGA
Coachella of-
hangout?
Is it Anaheim?
No, crypto.
Crypto.
Sub, if you're a sub, 10-year-old, Monster Jam is like Coachella.
Is that a MAGA? Seems like it'd be a big MAGA crowd there. No,
Yeah, probably.
a lot of fight.
It's your crowd.
I just assumed everyone's.
I'll be there. I mean, I just wondered if all my other people would be there. Oh man, okay, that's good. That's a good call out. Good parent
Yeah.
call out.
Yep.
Anand.
Mark Andreessen and Ben Horowitz did a podcast basically describing, I hate to say this, describing why they are voting for Trump and donating a ton of money.
Oh shit.
And they were just
you
like-
listen to it.
Yeah, I'm like 3/4 of the way in.
You're all in.
See, that's why
At
you
the end
took
of the
all
episode,
that.
he's going to donate all his crypto to fucking Trump.
Yeah.
They're basically like single voter issue, like kind of people, basically like, hey, who's going to be good for tech? And,
Right.
you know, what's sad is like, as a Democrat, they tried to get in front of Biden and they couldn't get in front of him.
Right.
But such good values
That's
this guy
your
has.
guy, but he stands on stage and says, "I don't like abortion and guns."
And they said they got in front of Trump and they were able to have like a reasonable conversation
He's pro-business.
about technology.
This guy's anti everything, anti Elon Musk, anti crypto.
I don't
Antitrust.
get why are the Democrats
Antitrust.
not just like reaching out to business?
They're
It's
not being smart.
You're not
It's
allowed to make money in the Democratic Party.
But you read Hoffman, you've all these like super Jeffrey Katzenberg.
'Cause they already
These are
made
like
their
super
money.
successful
They made
businessmen.
their money.
They already
It's
made their
different.
money, and now they're trying to say, "Oh, how do I look out for everybody?" And you're disregarding how you and all of your employees and everyone involved actually built great lives.
Yeah.
Instead
No,
of saying,
I mean-
"Why don't we look into Elon Musk?" There's a lot of things to look into there.
Because like I actually
Stupid.
respected the podcast. I'm only 3/4 in, so I haven't listened to the full thing. But they weren't like, "Oh, we're MAGA." We're just like, "Hey, someone actually wants to listen to us."
Oh, it's okay for them
so when
to
they
say
say
that.
it,
Yeah, they say it.
Yeah, but we say, "Wow, it's pretty cool."
When the
that
rich
he
white man
stood
says it,
up."
it's okay.
Yeah, fucking drama.
Exactly.
No, but they're of stature where they can get those calls. They
Right.
can get those meetings.
Well,
And
they can't with the
one
Democrats.
party's not.
I don't want to meet either of them. Just leave me the fuck alone.
Right, but one party.
Everybody.
It's fine.
Yeah. It's crazy. I think that maybe by November, I'm not saying you'd ever vote for Trump, but I think you're going to have some
I can see
offline
you in the ballot
conversations.
box just being like, I'm going to vote not for this fucking guy. And you just don't vote for the presidency.
I think I'm obviously voting for Biden. There's no question.
I don't know. I see you changing.
No.
We're going to have a hot 4 months of crypto. You're going to be like, listen, I'm trying to get back to fucking
Crypto's kinda
Morocco.
Yeah. If,
I did
if
have
you
a
knew
great
crypto
time in
would go to
Morocco.
0 or $1 million, let me tell you, Donald J. Trump.
Oh shit. Content. I don't have much content. Oh, the Open. Tiger Woods is playing again. So who knows? I mean, the guy's just,
He was very distraught by the shooting.
he
said.
had trouble sleeping.
He had trouble sleeping. Poor guy.
Yeah. So let's see if he makes the cut. All right. We have one shout out, right?
Yeah, one shout out from Amber. Hey, I have a shout out to Zach being on the show. I love his takes and insight. Who is Zach? I've heard him on the show a few times now, but context is great. Does he have an IG or Twitter? He does. Zach Blanco is his Instagram, I think.
And
Zach is a very
big time investor.
Accomplished venture capitalist.
He's very smart.
Very smart.
And the reason also for a
Big
little more
MAGA
detail, the reason why we
Big MAGA guy.
huge MAGA guy. The
He's
reason
always in camo because he's ready for war.
He's
'Cause
always
he knows.
shooting. He's
He
always
knows there's a
shooting.
war
Yeah.
about to happen.
The number of shooting.
We should have him back on the
Instagram
episode about
Zach
war.
has.
What do you think everyone's investing in Anduril? Because they know war is coming.
Yeah, he's ready. He's always in some sort of tactical.
He's
there's a
ready for
tactical
combat.
gear. Yeah, he knows. He knows something we don't.
Yeah.
That's Zach. Great.
That's it, guys.
All right. Thanks for listening. Everyone have a great weekend. Don't forget YouTube. I really enjoyed reading all of you calling us MAGA on the YouTube comments. So keep it up. Group chat pod. And fuck yeah. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on Sunday.
Peace.
Peace.